guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over a pretty entertaining article titled, Age-Appropriate Love is 2025's Hottest Trend. I'm looking at you, Hugh Jackman and Keanu Reeves. And guys, this article is written by a gal by the name of Jana Hawking. She's Australian. She writes all sorts of articles and blogs and all that type of crap based on subjects that we love to poke fun at and roast. She's one of those types, one of those dingbats, to quote Archie Bunker. And in this one, it's no different. According to her, 2025's hottest trend is men dating age appropriately. In other words, men are no longer being losers and scumbags by dating gals younger than them. They're sticking in their age range. If a guy's in his 40s, he's dating a gal in her 40s. He's in his 50s, he's dating gals in their 50s. Well, dream on, honey, because the vast majority out there is not doing that. And I'm covering this article because I think it's pretty funny that every now and again these things pop up about how much it infuriates women, particularly women in their 40s on up, about how guys will date younger women. The type of guys that these women want, who they wouldn't give the time of day to when they're younger, are now mad because these guys won't date them. These type of gals, when they were in their physical prime in their late teens and 20s, guess what they were doing typically? Dating older guys. Older guys that had more money, earning more assets, more status, and the guys in their age range, they want to give them the time of day. Well, guess what? These gals remain picky as hell, and they never pick a guy because they can always think they can get something better. And they wake up one day in their late 30s, 40s, and they're alone. And all of a sudden, the same guys they didn't want back when they were younger, now they want. Because guess what? They're not as physically desirable as they once were. But those guys who they want to give the time of day to are now in their prime, and they're saying, nope, not happening, honey. I'm dating younger chicks. And round we go. And tactics have been used to try to shame guys, and because it's always a shaming tactic, to date age appropriately. Well, it doesn't work. So I'm going to go through this article here, and I'm going to have fun picking apart this nonsense here. So it starts off, says here, something both horrifying and fascinating happened to me the day I turned 40. My matches on dating apps plummeted. Well, that's going to happen. But it isn't just because of the 4 zeros, because also you're not as physically as appealing as you once were. Not because my looks or bio had changed, just my age. Honey, I'm telling you, as you get older, your looks are going to change. Apparently, a lot of men set their matching age preferences to cap out at 39, leaving anyone over 40 out of the running. No matter what age the man is. Ick. Okay, well, how many guys have you left out of the running because they weren't making enough money that you felt you were entitled to have as a guy you were seeing or being in a relationship with? How many guys have you just, because he didn't make the money, or didn't have the status, or the college education, or whatever? So guys have their standards, you have yours. And where's that gotten you? So imagine my delight when photos of Hugh Jackman, who's 56, holding hands with his new flame, Sutton Foster, started popping up everywhere. And shock and horror, she's 48 years old. Okay, so that's an 8-year difference between Hugh Jackman and this chick, whatever the hell her name is. Well, Hugh Jackman's been recently divorced. And he was married to this old broad who was like way older than him all those years. So obviously he's attracted to women, to each their own, that are older or a certain age range. She says, did I squeal? I may have squealed. Here's a man, the world at his feet, a Hollywood star with one assumes a healthy bank account. Ding, ding, ding. Hear what she just said there. And many red carpet to parade some hot young thing down. But he chose to romance a woman in his age bracket. Women over 40, fist pumped, the air in delight. Having met Hugh Jackman last December, when I attended a breakfast in Tribeca, held by one of his closest friends, I can vouch for his good character. He was warm and friendly, with not a hint of sleaze. Well, Hugh Jackman, a lot of people don't know that his Wolverine persona is like an exact 180 of who he is in real life. Hugh Jackman prefers to be like in musicals and singing and dance. I mean, picturing fucking Wolverine singing and dancing. It's amazing he can play Wolverine so well. But everything I've heard in life, he's a very friendly, outgoing guy, but he's very much a lot of people have suspected that he might be actually deep down bat for the other team. a lot, and I've kind of thought that for a while, but I think he's just a very extreme metro type, and has some definitely feminine qualities. So I'm not surprised here that he was married to an older woman all those years, and you get my point here. She says here, and trust me, I was trying to give him the old wink and nod, but clearly his heart was beating elsewhere. Yeah, he's not interested in you, honey. Jackman could have anyone, and let's be honest, many men in his shoes would have grabbed a Victoria's Secret catalog, cough cough Bradley Cooper, and picked out a younger supermodel purely for ego's sake. Oh, so when a woman in her 20s goes for a guy in his 40s because of his wealth and income and all those other things, so, that's not a problem? But she says, but no. Jackman found Sutton a woman who appreciates theater, musicals, and artistic outlets as much as he does. Someone with whom he could sing show tunes until their dying days. What I just tell you about Hugh Jackman preferring to be on stage singing and dancing and all that. Yeah, Wolverine singing and dancing. So, okay, this guy, obviously, Hugh Jackman, like many guys, likes to be with a gal he has things in common with, passions. I got no problem with that. But still, it's his life. But also, I really do think it likes older women. He looked beyond the surface and found his soulmate, not just an arm candy. Yes, in a world where middle-aged men casually waltz off with women who weren't ever born when Titanic hit the big screen, Jackman's decision feels downright revolutionary. Forget Marvel's Wolverine, this is his real superhero move. Get the hell out of here. Again, if you were in your 20s, you'd be doing the same thing. You'd be dating older guys. You wouldn't be interested in guys your age unless they were maybe the top 2%, maybe some trust fund boys or the physical Chads and Tyrones. But 98% of the guys out there when you were 25, you weren't interested in. Come on, it's because you're 40 and your options are limited, and now you're turning things around. He's not alone. Enter stage left Keanu Reeves, who's 60, sweet, soulful Reeves, who's been with Alexandra Grant at 51, a woman in his actual age bracket for years. Their relationship is such a refreshing palate cleanser after decades of Hollywood's obsession with pairing older men with younger women. Well, there's a question. I bet you this chick has no problem with older women with younger men, but when a guy is with a younger woman, then it's a big problem. Remember, to all the women out there that have a problem with older men with younger women, remember, you are where you are by your own actions. And I'm talking to the lady here and all the other gals that have a problem with guys doing this. I'm sure I had plenty of guys in your prime that were interested in you. Good guys, cared about you, and you're like, because you thought you were so amazing, you just kept waiting for something better. Well, Father Time is going to come for all of us. And you got older. And now here you are, and now you're pissed off at the same girls that are with the older guys, and you were just like that. You had your chance. Why would a guy who had to work hard to get to a point in his life in his prime, to have qualities that are desirable by a lot of women, just suddenly go for the same gals who wouldn't give him the time of day? That's crazy. So of course they're going to date younger. Now some guys are exceptions, and I'm not saying you can have darn good-looking women in their 30s, 40s, even 50s. They have to work hard at it, but it's not the same as the prime of the 20s. For women when they're young, look, they're young. And as long as they put down the fucking Oreos and keep themselves at a healthy body weight and go to the salon, take care of their nails and hair and dress decently, they're going to have plenty of options with guys, even if they're pretty good looking. But a guy, unless he's like the top 2% and wealthy, comes from a wealthy family, so he can have all the toys, and he's, physically the Chad, most guys out there have to work hard to get to the point to be considered to be desirable. So why, after all this work, they should just settle for a gal that wouldn't give them the time of day when they're younger? It's not happening. I got to keep hitting home here about how absurd this thinking is. Reeves and Jackman are out reminding us that shared life experiences and emotional depth might be the hottest trend in 2025. These are two guys, lady. You see, for years, women over 40 have been sent the memo that they're past their prime. And it's been exhausting. But it's time to retire the outdated notion that beauty has an expiration date. Okay, well, are you willing to retire outdated notions about men and earning potential and income and status for desirability? I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Consider just divorced Jennifer Lopez, who is 55, is still turning heads with her flawless glow and gym-honed physique. Nicole Kidman, 57, graces red carpets and campaigns with timeless elegance. And Halle Berry, 58, is redefining sexy with every confident stride. Okay, these are Hollywood actresses. They're super wealthy, and they look good for their age. But guess what? One by one, many of you guys have probably seen articles where these gals they're in their 50s, maybe 60 now, whine and complain that no guys want them. They were once very desirable decades earlier, but no guys want them. So, in your mind, they're elegant and walking down the red carpet in their Jim Hone physique and gracious elegance, whatever you want to freaking call it. They look good for their age, but let's remember they are very wealthy, and they can get the best trainers to help them stay in shape. They can have the best quality food to help them, the best health care, all that. So, come on here. And even then, yeah, they look good, but doesn't mean guys want to marry them. Those type of guys that they would want are like, shit, Halle Berry, 58, or such and such, 31. Think about it. These women are living proof that confidence, self-care, and embracing who you are only make you more stunning with age. No, men don't find women more physically appealing because their confidence and embracing who they are. Sure, we like a gal that has qualities like that, and we have things in common with, but that's not the top thing that's going to draw us toward them. Those are things that draw women towards men. Who wouldn't swipe right on that? And Hollywood is catching on. Look at Kidman in Baby Girl, seducing a younger man while radiating grown woman confidence. This isn't about reversing the trope, it's about leveling the playing field. Oh, so it's okay when these, either in movies or in real life, the women are with younger guys. But when an older guy's with a younger woman, then he's the bad guy. Okay, we got that. If men can date younger without raising eyebrows, why can't women? Spoiler, we can, and many of my friends think it's fabulous. Well, knock yourself out, but stop trashing guys who date younger women. And by the way, gentlemen, I wouldn't be here on the camera talking right now if that didn't happen. My dad, what the hell is the difference? 24 years older than my mom? Yeah, on their first date, my mom was 21, my dad was 45. He'd been divorced a little while. He was a doctor. He was a commander in the Navy. Yeah, he was a catch. Women loved my dad. They loved my dad up until he was 97 years old when he passed away. May he rest in peace. Yeah, I wouldn't be here for that. And my mom and dad loved each other and had a great marriage. And, and believe me, I guarantee you there are a lot of bitter women that are pissed off that my dad was with my mom. What else? But back to Hugh Jackman and Keanu Reeves, because I'm not done yet. Of course you're not done yet. Their choices send a powerful message to women everywhere. You're not invisible just because you're over 35. Women aren't invisible because they're above 35. It's just that you need to understand that they're not as desirable physically as they once were. End of story. It's not going to be as easy as it was. And a guy isn't the bad guy because he's not interested in that. Personally, leading up to my 40th birthday, I kept hearing the narrative that women above that age belonged on the clearance rack while men got upgraded to the luxury section. Well, right here, because a guy in his 40s, that's his prime. A guy that does well for himself, a guy that takes care of himself and all that, yeah, he knows what the fuck he's doing. It's not very hard for him. But now these two silver foxes are flipping the script, showing us that emotional maturity is far more valuable than chasing someone who wasn't even alive during the Friends finale. Emotional maturity? Really? You really want me to tap that one about levels of maturity? I reference and mention a lot of times how women can oftentimes behave like children. I don't see a lot of emotional maturity in some of these actions and the thousands and thousands of stories I've covered over the years. And let's not overlook the sheer relief of it. No awkward generational gaps to navigate, no TikTok dances to learn, and no explaining who Nirvana is. Well, I will say this, guys. It's nice to have someone you have things in common with, and know things about. The thing about Leonardo DiCaprio all the time, how he's dating chicks, when they're 25, he's done. But, the conversations I can only imagine they have, him with a 22-year-old, with his age and 22-year-old. Now, let's be honest, he's with them because he wants to bang them and look good and all that. But really, they obviously don't have a lot in common. Case in point, every time Leonardo DiCaprio, who's 50, parades another under 27 model on the red carpet or yacht, I can't help but think, what the heck do you talk about? Well, I agree there. But DiCaprio isn't with them to talk to them. He wants to fuck them and take them around. And that girl, she's getting something out of it. She's with Leonardo DiCaprio. She's one of the Leo girls and gets to enjoy the benefits of that lifestyle and any doors that can open. It's a business deal. They're both benefiting from that. End of story. All these gals at DiCaprio know that when they turn 25 or around that time, they're done. Next. And, it's a business deal. Surely these young women aren't lining up to hear him recount back in my day stories. No, they should be having glorious sex with fit, sprightly men their own age, not babysitting a dad bod on the dance floor. Really, lady, you're knocking the gals there with Leonardo DiCaprio? Are you telling me when you were that age in your early 20s, you would have been with Leonardo DiCaprio or some older guy that's famous and wealthy? You're full of shit. All the gals that say that, I wouldn't have done that, bullshit. So here's a big question. Could Jackman and Ree's example inspire the rest of us to rethink our dating habits? Not a chance, honey. Human nature ain't going to change. Imagine a world where we stop chasing the unattainable and started valuing people who actually get us. Did she just really say, imagine a world where we stop chasing the unattainable and start valuing people who actually get us? You mean how many gals spend decades chasing after the top guy who statistically it's impossible for them all to get? And then, really? That's what she's saying? Well, start with yourself. Where dates didn't feel like cross-generational culture exchanges, what's an MP3 player? What's TikTok? Where maturity and being on the same wavelength became the new aphrodisiacs. Revolutionary, right? So here's to Hollywood hunks Jackman and Reeves, the patron saints of age-appropriate romance. Their low lives prove that genuine connection is far hotter than a six-pack any day. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Lady, nobody's buying this crap. And for those of us hitting our 40s, it's a reminder that we're not just still in the game, we're winning it. Cheers to the middle-aged magic. Let's make it a trend. Yes, even on TikTok. If you were winning, and gals in your age range are winning, you would have written this article to attract gals in their 40s and 50s who are frustrated that guys their age are dating younger women. They're not winning, and this is nonsense. But I'm covering this article because it's funny and to show you just the hopes and dreams out there. Because at the end of the day, it's shaming tactics. They want to shame guys to behave in a way that they want, even though they're giant hypocrites. They did the same thing. They were dating older guys, or would have done that if they could, when they were younger. They didn't want most guys out there, you guys listening to this, in your 40s, maybe late 30s, 50s even, who are doing well for yourself, take care of yourself, and have women interested in you. These same types that are bitching and complaining in articles like this, they didn't give you the time of day when you were younger. You've been there. And now you've made something of yourself and you're a bachelor, or maybe you're divorced, you're a bachelor and you're divorced or whatever, or never got married. Who are you getting involved with for those you date and hook up? You're in your 40s, chicks in their 40s, or chicks in their 30s or 20s. Come on here. I'm not saying, again, you can't have some cool chicks around your age range and things you have in common with. Commonality is fun, but still, at the end of the day, what are you going to go for? The same way that the young gals were, of course, going to go for a guy that could spoil them, take them around the world, all these things like that. So it's just, at the end of the day, it's nonsense. She's full of shit. But anyhow, guys, thought it'd be a funny one to go over here. Now, real quick, I'm going to read some comments. The whole comment section is full of people just like this. The comment section is full of people like us, or it's women babbling on by Hugh Jackman, how he's a big cheater and screw him and all that. One guy says here, why do women refuse to allow men to just have preferences and leave it at that? The amount of men that they write off for being short, income insufficient, socially inept, smaller size down there, etc. Men on average prefer younger women, period. Leave it at that and stop making articles about age appropriate. Only age appropriate is consenting adults. Now here's one from a woman. She says, it'll be a win-win for society in general when we all quit fixating on the external and constantly opinioning for our 20s and learn to accept age with grace. There are much more fulfilling things in life than looking in the mirror and selfies. Also, anyone that has spent time with someone that is considered beautiful, only to find out they have black souls, know. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Well, I agree beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I definitely am well aware that some people that maybe very physically beautiful or good looking, are very ugly in the inside. I agree with that. But this whole thing, like, start to appreciate people for other things other than externally. Well, guess what? For men, at the end of the day, our number one attraction is going to be looks, physical features. That's just how we are. The same way with women, the number one thing is usually confidence in a guy, and obviously success and wealth. You think women are going to change their behavior and instincts? No. We're no different than we were 5,000 years ago. And in 5,000 years, if we're still around, we're not going to be any different. Another one. Who is basing their dating patterns and style of celebrities? For starters, they have a horrible track record for staying married. When the average Joe's marriage falls apart, they usually stick with women in their same generation. The author projected a whole lot about her dating value on the fact that her age crossed over some threshold. Get out there and meet people the old-fashioned way, and you'll start learning that plenty of men will be happy to take a swing at women in their 40s. But those guys, they don't want. And last one. This guy says, so the author hits the wall, then talks about Hugh Jackman's status and bank account. Drops an ick like a tweeny-age girl. How about this? Why are you 40 and single? What is your notch count? What happened to all the good men you discarded? Right there, I said that earlier. Where are all those guys? She didn't want them when she was younger, but now they're looking pretty good now that she's in her 40s. It takes time for a man to build his wealth. While we were on the grind, earning, developing, and building, what were you doing? Oh yeah, enjoying your choice of men, free meals, free labor, seeing more men pass through your bedroom door than the gates of the Super Bowl. And now what you value most is honesty, loyalty, virtue, having long since vanished from your life. So as a retired single man, never married, no kids, I want zero drama, zero inherited debt, zero to low body count, zero single moms, and that does not happy with 40-plus women. There you go. The perfect one to end on, exactly. So anyway, guys, I thought it'd be a funny one to go over here. And these articles are going to pop up left and right. At the end of the day, she's doing this because she's making a buck and targeting women out there that are frustrated. She doesn't really think that human nature is going to change. She knows that men are going to keep dating younger women because we can when you get to the point of success. She knows the younger women are going to go out with older guys and not be interested in the guys their age range until it's too late. And round we go. But the question was, at the end of the last comment, what about her? You're 40. You can't tell me back in the day you were doing all the things that, Anyhow, guys, I'm going to go over here. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.